Hey guys, welcome back for another MUT game video, and we're gonna actually have a double header for you in this one. Probably gonna do mostly double headers with MUT games since they're so short. As you can see, we are taking on DKE, and most of the games I'm gonna post are gonna be against teams that are at least like a 96, 97, 98, 99, something like that. Basically, a really good team. Most of the time, those are where we get our most competitive games. And right here, man, we're just trying to stop them from getting into this end zone. And if we can hold them to 3 here, that's definitely going to be a win for the defense, and we're able to do that. And one thing about MUT you have to be careful of is that it's very similar to Money Games as far as it's being 4 minutes. But the major difference between Money Games and MUT is going to be that they use accelerated clock. So essentially, a MUT game is just 4 minutes with Excel when you're playing the season mode. And so time can definitely fly by really fast. There can literally be 1 or 2 possessions and a half, depending upon how things go. There could be a lot more possessions depending on how things go. So you really got to really pay attention to that clock management and understand that it's 4 minutes versus 6, and that difference is really drastic because essentially that's an entire quarter if you're playing 4-minute quarters. So, 2 6-minute quarters is going to get you 12 minutes. 3 4-minute quarters are going to get you 12 minutes. So, and right here, man, oh my gosh, I can't believe we just gave that up right before half. Like, that is just terrible. Like I always say, there's a couple things you want to watch for at the end of the half. Like triple options, read options, QB wraps, things like that. Deep passes, of course. And probably the number one thing, again, is going to be those screen passes, because that's really the plays, the play types that are going to give you the biggest gains, the biggest payoffs, and the biggest potential as far as getting really huge gains and potentially scoring on one play. And you also got to know the distance that a lob pass can go. I mean, I don't think any lob pass is going to go beyond 50, 60 yards on this game. So if they got 70 yards to go, you really don't have to super worry about a lob pass unless you get beat over the top. But as long as you have safety help, that's not going to be an issue. Just make sure you're in that quarter 3 deep. You'll be good to go there. And then try to put some contains on the side. Whatever side the running back is on, generally that's where the screen goes. I've been seeing a few more screens that go opposite the running back side, so you do have to be careful and kind of pay attention to what your opponent does, because over the course of the game, the screen pass is definitely something a lot of people go to get those big plays or to bail them out in tough situations, or just kind of a nice play to mix in to slow down the blitz or to beat coverage. Either way, man, the screen is definitely something that is effective and is a real nice tool. You can also still do those makeshift screens like the gun doubles, wide receiver screen where you put the halfback on a flat and send the wide receiver on a streak. Those still work. Also, another method is putting your wide receiver on a drag on those halfback slip screens and actually throwing to him and using those blockers. So if you ever have a slip screen going to the right, you can put your one of the wide receivers on the left side of the screen. So let's say you're in a trips formation on the left. You can put that inside wide receiver on a drag, go ahead and throw it to him, and actually use the blocking that's designed for the running back and give it to the wide receiver instead. So a lot of different ways you can throw the screen in this game. You also have the bubble screen too. So definitely take advantage of them and also be aware of all of them. And just understand that those are very effective plays that a lot of people go to at a lot of times, including myself. And it's definitely something that you should probably invest in, because it's something that can definitely get you some really big gains, really big rewards. And also understand that there are some big risks when you run screens as well, depending upon how your opponent plays it. If they play the right D, they can really get a big sack, they can get an interception, or if it's a 3rd or 4th down situation, it can put you in a really tough spot where you're either going to turn it over or you're putting yourself in a really big hole for 4th down or whatever the case may be. But we've talked about all the screens we want to talk about in this video. Right here, man, we're going on the second game. We're down 10 early, couple bad possessions early, not executing offensively, and that's kind of the thing you're going to run into. And you don't want to get into a situation where 4 minutes with Excel clock where you're down, because then it's a little bit tougher to run the ball. Your opponent gets to run a lot more coverage defense, and coverage defense is definitely rewarded in this game. So if you're in a position where your opponent gets to play a lot of coverage D, they're going to be in a position where guys are going to kind of jump out of their zones, or they're going to lock up on man D, and then they're going to get some really good block sheds. But either way, You know, you just got to really be careful with that. And right here, we get some garbage with this pass interference here. And that's a call I've actually seen quite a few times. Probably seen it like 10 or 15 times this year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but just for as bad as a caller that it is, that's definitely way too frequent. But right here, we're able to march it into the end zone, and then it's just a matter of locking up the field, making sure we lock him up. And right here, we see he has Walter Payton at QB. So that's definitely a guy we got to watch. For, you know, taking off with, because of course he has the big play potential on his legs. So we're able to do that, able to lock up and able to get this win. I hope you guys enjoyed this doubleheader, and you know, until the next time, hopefully some of these tips helped you out. We gone.